shift, bass hit, neck snap, true talk, no fluff, heat rise, act up, snap tight, step clean, eyes lock, scene mean, just Jackson Guest. Feel that beat drop, chest pump, don't stop, just Jackson Guest. Here comes fire, here comes heat, no retreat, on this beat, just Jackson Guest. Shakalaka boom, shakalaka boom, 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 boom. Mind flip, spine stiff, word cut, gift shift, talk slick, move quick, clock tick, don't blink. Just Jackson Guest. Boom, shakalaka boom, shakalaka boom. Just Jackson Guest. Boom, shakalaka boom, shakalaka boom. More love with backbone, more safety, full grown, more respect when it's earned, more clients return, more stacks, more flow, more peace that we grow, more health in the grind, more wealth in the mind, more cheers from the crowd, more strong women loud, more worth that you feel, more power made real. Yeah, just Jackson Guest. Here comes fire, here comes heat, no retreat, on this beat, just Jackson Guest. Just Jackson Guest. Boom shakalaka boom shakalaka boom. Boom shakalaka boom. Hey boom boom. Boom shakalaka boom. Hey boom boom. Boom shakalaka boom. Boom shakalaka boom. Hey boom shakalaka boom shakalaka boom. Hey boom shakalaka boom shakalaka boom. Boom shakalaka boom. Boom shakalaka boom shakalaka boom. Hey boom shakalaka boom. Kick bounce, hi-hat, run, shoulders roll, sun up, baseline, waistline, heat rise, no decline. Just Jackson Guest. Boom shakalaka boom 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 boom. More love with backbone, more sun, boom boom. When it go, when the sun, don't run with the turn, more stacks, more flow, more blast in the turn, more just don't feel more shit. More stacks in the crowd, more strong, more loud, more worth that you feel, more power made free.
Yeah, more drive, no style, more rise, stand tall, more force, no fear, more shit this year, yeah.
Just Jackson Guest.
Boom shakalaka, boom shakalaka, boom shakalaka, boom shakalaka, boom shakalaka.
Hey, how is everybody doing? It is Just Jackson Guest. It's Monday. It is April 20th. If you celebrate 420, please be safe. Be safe, okay? But if you're here with us, you're going to have an amazing time, whether it is your evening, whether it is your middle of the night, your Tuesday. We are here going to have two amazing humans join the stage in just a little bit. We've got Stanley Green. We've got Americo. You guys do not want to miss them. I put in LinkedIn. Anybody got guesses who's going first? Put them in the chat. I've got a couple things to share with you guys because there's some stuff going on in this world. First of all, if you follow me on LinkedIn or Facebook or TikTok, TikTok was a video, Facebook and LinkedIn were very long, intense posts. If you don't know what Just Jackson Guest is, it's all about highlighting diverse humans and talking about tough stuff. The tough stuff from over the weekend, 62 million views on how to assault your wife, how to drug her so you can show off to other people. Big issues with that. Very big issues with that. So if you're interested in my thoughts a little bit more, make sure you go check that out. So if you are struggling from that news, if you are struggling in a partnership where there is violence, or you're nervous, or you're scared that there's some threats, please reach out to your local domestic violence shelter. Please know that you don't deserve to be harmed. You don't deserve to be treated in any ways that is not just as amazing and wonderful as you would treat other humans, right? Okay, please take care of yourself. All right, so not only is it April 420, I gotta yell at y'all, okay? Do you know what you did to me? It's the first time ever. Guys, I have been doing this show for over a year now. Not one person had the balls to let me know I never changed their name. Do you see Jane on there? Do you see Fawn on there? Not one person told me that I screwed up their names. I could have changed it in 2 minutes, but no, I found it like 2 seconds before I went live. Guys, this is not Fawn and Jane. This is Stanley and Americo. They deserve to be on there. Now they're forever on my link or my YouTube channel as the header page. Y'all, come on. I'm that kind of girl that if I see there's something hanging out your nose, you're going to hear about it before 10 other people see it and laugh at you. If I have something like hanging like toilet paper on my foot and nobody says it, I'm going to be like, what else ain't she telling me? What else is he keeping from me? Guys, do yourself a solid and tell people when they make a mistake. Because sometimes I am doing these Canva things at like 5:30 in the morning, or sometimes it's like 11 o'clock at night and my contacts are stuck or I can't even hardly see. Y'all, let a girl know if we screw up, that's a learning opportunity and it helps you use your voice. Not one of us is perfect. I mean, Americo does kind of do this for his living. You know, he helps you be perfect on these shows, but every now and then the tech gods step in. And if you are having issues on LinkedIn, feel free to go over to my YouTube channel. It is at the bottom of the screen scrolling. But sometimes we just don't see things, or we're rushing, or we get so caught up in multitasking or doing other things that even if I read something 17 times before I post, sometimes I'm going to miss it. So you let me know if I ever need to do some more backup for you guys too, because you deserve to have your best face forward, but we're all human. It's going to happen. So no problem. But I had to tease y'all because I can't believe it was my first time. I'm just kind of surprised I haven't done it a whole bunch more than that. But sometimes that's fun too, right? A couple things coming up I want to make sure you guys know about. And then we're going to get the first guest up. Did I see any guesses yet? Have you guessed if it's going to be Americo or Stanley coming up? Let's see. Okay. This coming Saturday, it is going to be the 26th. Coach Carrie does Carrie Connects. It's a 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's 2 p.m. for her. She's in that little tiny spot of Indiana that has a different time zone like Chicago. It's so crazy to me when I drive through there from Michigan. But she does her new show where she interviews somebody, and it's different than my Just Jag show because y'all got like maybe 22 minutes on stage. It's very fast moving here. And so Carrie started this, and I believe Leslie Flowers was her amazing first guest. I'm so honored to be on with her, and it's not going to be scripted at all. We did do a coffee chat a few weeks ago, and go to her page. She shared both on Substack and on her LinkedIn page. She took all that information from us talking in coffee chat and wrote out a bio almost better than I could have done if I would have paid somebody $1 gazillion. It makes me sound way better than I feel most days, but go back and check that out and then join her for the show or catch her on replay if weekends are too busy for you. You'll get to see a little different side of me than what I usually portray on this show or in the post because I don't know what to expect from her. So still going to be the same Jackie. You're just going to hear different levels that she decides to go into and pull out from me. So I'm super excited for her. Oh, she just heard me talk about it. I'm so excited too, Miss Carrie. And then next week, Wednesday, so not this Wednesday, so I'll talk about it again next Monday on Just Jackson Guest, but on Wednesday, the 29th, guys, put it in your calendars. Wishful Wednesday, Damian Kinsey and I, we are back together. We took last month off. We are back this last Wednesday of the month, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We want you to be here, especially with all the real stress we've been seeing from humans. It is real. It's tangible. Melanie thinks Stanley. Let's see. I got to go check. I mean, guys, we got so many awesome people here and I'm like totally not even looking at them. Melanie's in the house and Kinga and Christy. 2 times in Chicago. Matthew, I am about, depending on what time of day you go and what the traffic looks like or construction, I'm between 3.5 and 4 hours, around the lake and up because I'm in Michigan, right by your pinky across Lake Michigan. Dr. Tanya's in the house. She just had her awesome show, her Parent to Parent. You want to check it out because some of the stuff, actually, I'm going to say it in just a second. Some of the stuff that I deal with at my day job is for youth that are already involved in the court system. They're getting kicked out or expelled from school. And Dr. Tanya has so many cool tips and guests that come on that may be able to work with their kiddos before it gets to that point. So you definitely want to check that out, okay? We've got Yolanda in the house. We got Jason. Jason, I got a really cool message in my email that said something shipping. I'm so excited. Oh, and we got 2 for Stanley. Leslie's on with Stanley. Let's see. Does anybody vote for Americo? Let's see. Kenny's in the house. Thank you for being here. Jairus is here. Jairus just going to be a guest before too. Guys, I am booked up into June. So if you want to be a guest on here, you got to reach out soon. William Rochelle, you can call him Bill. He had 2 amazing shows last night. He is doing another 10 p.m. right after this show. Y'all, my brain is on fire after I get off these shows because I've learned so much about the amazing guests. It's wild, wild, wild. Josette, nice to see you. Jason finally acknowledged I did get my hairs done today. It won't look like this after tomorrow. It'll probably look even worse halfway through the day tomorrow. But yeah, I love it. Kimberly Wells, welcome. Oh my goodness, it's so glad to hear you. It has been a minute, my friend. Thank you for being here. Okay, I don't know. So far, I am just seeing 2 for Stanley. I'm not seeing Americo. I guess they think you might have got here late or something like that. I'm not sure. Let's see. Oh, thank you, Lisa. I appreciate that. Linda, so great to see you. Okay, here we go. Oh, there she goes. We finally got an Americo. No, you can't. Okay, you already picked Stanley, so she's saying something else. Okay, I love her anyways. Okay, guys, are you ready to see who's going to be the first guest? Are you ready? I'm ready to bring them up. And I'm ready for you to be able to see both of these gentlemen actually being a guest instead of the host with the most like they usually on their show. Here he comes. Let's see who was right. Mr. Stanley Green, how are you, my friend?
Wonderful. How are you, Jackie? How's everybody doing? Happy to be here. Love your opening. And also, the words you started off with in terms of the things that are happening all over the world, especially as it relates to relationships and domestic violence. I just put up my the invites for my Wednesday programs, and guess what it's about? It is about emotion regulation and impulse control in relationships. Mm. So yeah, really
I got your app now, and I tried.
Yes, I noticed that. We have to make sure. I don't know if you put in a referral code or you just.
I did for Sherry.
Was it Leslie?
No, it was Sherry. Actually, she reached out first.
Sherry.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Got it. All right. You got a few people out there sending. Good. That's a good thing.
Love it. Well, let's talk more about your app in just a minute. I always start each guest with the same 3 questions. So if you're new here tonight or it's been a while since you've been here, 3 same questions. It kind of gets you to see a different side of the guest because some guests, they answer in about 2 seconds and others take almost their whole time on stage. And oh my gosh, I learned something about every single person that comes on when they answer these questions. So I thought when my year mark hit, Stanley, I might change the questions or at least add 1 or 2, but I'm sticking with these because you're still new. Stanley, tell the audience, whether they're watching on replay, whether they're here live, 2 things, and I know you have so many things, but pick 2 that you are proud of that you have accomplished or done.
Yeah, I think the first is family. That was a major accomplishment, but actually even before that, it was because the family doesn't happen without my significant other. So it's really picking a mate, and I'm not going to say a soulmate because my wife doesn't like that. We watch it, like it was an Academy Award for one of the actresses, and she talked about having her soulmate. This guy's her soulmate, and then 2 weeks later they broke up. So we never.
No bad juju.
Yeah, right. But yes, we started dating in 1980. And we were married in 1984 and still going strong. So that was the first and thing that I'm most proud of. And through that, that relationship and union, through 3 children, and each of them are married, and they have children, and they're the best parents ever. And so, I think we did a good job because we modeled, what they're actually doing today, and it's just tremendous to see. So our focus is first with family, and we were just at a 40th for our daughter-in-law on Saturday, and we had the grandkids, and they were all dressed up, and so it was just amazing.
That's so cool. What's your second? Because we're not counting the wife different than the family. We're going to just put her in there.
So we want to put all family together. Okay, great. And the second thing is that I have followed, my dream. I'm self-actualizing, that this feeling that one is becoming everything that they're capable of becoming. And I've done that. And it goes back decades when I ran other people's companies and build teams and build resilient, groups, individuals and teams, and just saw the tremendous results as a result of that. And I thought, I'd love to do that for society, for the human race. And I'm living that dream. I was talking to someone yesterday, and I said, "So how you doing?" He said, "I'm living the dream." And that's what I'm doing. I'm actually living the dream. And this app is a manifestation of that, because I'm taking what I used to do with my teams, where we would have staff meetings and we plant these seeds. In addition to talking about the regular work stuff that we needed to get done, we would be planting these seeds about, the positivity that we wanted to see in folks, and how, we wanted them to relate to each other. And that actually spilled over into their home life as well, because at the end of the year, it's a funny thing that my wife and I would do. At the end of the year, I would say, "Watch, hon, you're going to see significant others of the employees come up and thank me for improving their home life," because of what we did, the culture we created within the company that spilled over into their home life as well. It's just an amazing thing. And the great thing now is I'm able to do this through this technology, with everyone that is a part of Power Thinking and the Power Thinking mobile app.
That is so cool. And
Yes.
I can't stress enough. And again, you're going to talk a little bit about relationships on Wednesday, but that's kind of what I do on the side. I kind of do it in my day job in a certain capacity. But that's more with forced people through court orders or through their criminal situation. But your home relationships, it impacts the work. Work impacts the home life. It is not just, oh, I'm all business here or I'm all family here. It goes back and forth. So thank you for acknowledging that. And I can only imagine how many family members, kids and partners, were thankful for that kind of leadership. So thank you for doing that. Thank you for sharing that.
No problem.
And Stanley, we could talk for hours about all your accomplishments and all the different things you've done as a businessman, as an athlete, all the things. No matter how many titles, no matter how many businesses, no matter how many beautiful flags on your wall, you yourself have to keep growing and using all those cool neurons in your brain, or our brains stop wanting to work. So tell us something that you're still growing in, or something you're learning about yourself.
Yeah, so something that I'm learning about myself, that is that I can never. I'm just starting to embrace the notion of always learning. One of the challenges I've had over the years is, when you get to the point where my first job as a president of a company, this was a music video channel called The Box, and it was a competitor to MTV, and it was really doing poorly. But that was the first time I was named a president. And so, but a strange thing happens when that happens. And then I went on to be a CEO of an internet company. I was chairman of the board of the synthetic turf industry. But when that happens, you start to believe that you know it all. It's like, yeah, I've done it. I've done that. So, there's nothing else I need to learn. And that is dangerous. It is so dangerous.
Yes.
And we should always be open to new ideas because, first of all, things change. Look at what's happening with AI. And for the people that just look, I don't want to have anything to do with AI. My life is fine the way it is. I don't want to deal. And there are people who are younger than me. And I don't do email or I don't do social media at all. So that is a dangerous place to be. And so it's only within the past 10 years that I have, embraced, forcing myself to be open to new things, new ideas, different ways to do things. And that's actually one of our skills of resilience, avoiding thinking traps. There are 8 different thinking traps, and tunnel vision is one of them. And this is where we certainly have committed to a result, something we want to accomplish, but we may only be committed to one way of getting that done. And that is bad when there's so many ways to get to the result that we want. So while I would always talk about this and reinforce this, I had to make sure that I wasn't falling into that thinking trap of tunnel vision. And it's very challenging.
It is.
Especially as we get older and we've had success with things, we can fall into, oh, this is the way I've always done it and it worked, and this is the way I'm going to do it going forward.
Oh, you're so right. Or maybe you haven't had what is considered a successful life and you say differently, this is all I deserve. I'm not getting any more. And you kind of like limit yourself, and that beautiful brain that we were all given is just like, use me. I want to do more. I want to learn. I want to grow. Oh, I love that you picked that. Thank you so much for sharing that. So Stanley, if you could go anywhere in the world right now, just go and just enjoy yourself, whether it's considered business trip with the wife, with the grandkids, or just by yourself, whether it's for pleasure, whether it's just to escape, whatever, where would you go right now? Where would you pick?
Well, I'd go to Africa. I definitely would go to Africa. I've been to a few continents, I've, spent time in Asia, both Japan and China, certainly Europe. But I haven't, while I have, associates like Sherry Aquari, who sent you the link for the app, and she does great work. And we've worked together after she approached me in 2023 when I was doing audio events and said, hey, you need a virtual assistant. And she's been with me ever since. And Olu in Western Africa, in Nigeria, Tobalova. And so I'd like to be to visit the continent at some point.
Oh, there's so many places to visit in Africa. I really hope you get there and you get there soon. I don't know if you know this about me, but I have met probably close to 270 of my LinkedIn connections in person.
Wow.
I set a goal for myself in 2021. It was January of 21. I got to Hawaii, and I decided if I could get to Hawaii, I can get to all 50 states. So I set that goal, and I was able to get to all of them. I did 26 states all by myself. And through my travels, I kind of coordinated where I was going in different states to be able to meet some of my amazing LinkedIn connections. It's such a cool experience.
Wow, that's good. I thought I was just talking to Omar this morning or this afternoon, and they said, "How many have you met?" He said, 6. I've met 6 so far, and you said 200 and what?
Now I will say that some of those I did meet through conferences. Some of them I did meet kind of close to my hometown that I had no idea we were even connected, and they would come up to me at different events, and I was just like, I should know who you are. And I felt horrible because I try to remember everybody, but they'd be like, you did Wishful Wednesday, or I heard you back in the audio room days. And I'm like, oh, this is so cool. So I counted them too, because I had never met them in person before. So I love that. Well, Mr. Stanley, I am going to turn it all over to you to kind of talk a little bit about what you want to share. There was a comment earlier about how do people doing these shows get so many guests on them? And you do more shows than I do. So I'm going to see if you want to answer that. And I want you to share about the app and whatever else you wanted to share tonight, because this is your turn.
And what was that? What was that question again?
It was, how do you get so many? David put that on there. Let me see if I can find the actual question. David.
Was it connections?
It was about how many people come on the shows. Here we go. What is the secret to getting so many concurrent live views on LinkedIn?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm still trying to figure that one out. Actually, it's tougher on LinkedIn Lives. But when we had the audio rooms, you remember that? Oh my goodness, that was just amazing. And I remember getting well over 150 or so, at a time in a room, and there were times when LinkedIn really helped out. When I started initially, I remember, inviting X number of people. And then a few hours later, it like tripled, and it just kept growing and growing and growing. And I don't know if you remember that phenomenon.
Yeah.
And so a lot of it is, LinkedIn's own algorithms, and it's a lot more challenging. You really have to work hard, to do it. So and we don't see the kind of numbers that we used to see on LinkedIn audio. So if anybody finds out or no, please help us. Help me. We
will all take the help, won't we, Stanley?
Yeah.
Well, Stanley, you got about 7 minutes or so. If you want to share a little bit about you, let's go ahead and put you in the spotlight, my friend.
Sure. Well, thank you, Jackie, and thank you for joining. I just looked earlier today and saw that you're doing the trial, and so this what we do with the Power Thinking Corp mobile app is the culmination of all the things I've ever done. It was in about 2011 that we formed Power Thinking, and the following month we acquired a company that I had my eye on for about 4 years prior. And this company, called Reflective Learning, negotiated to distribute the intellectual property, then commercialize the intellectual property that came out of the University of Pennsylvania's Positive Psychology Center, led by world-renowned psychologist by the name of Dr. Martin Seligman, whose key discovery in the late 60s was around something called learned helplessness, that people can actually fall into this state of helplessness through repeated setbacks or a traumatic event or more, where they just, even though there's a way up and out, they don't believe that they can make it. And that always intrigued me, because in organizations that I took over where people, they weren't performing, and with one cable company that was really a groundbreaker for me. One customer wrote a complaint letter, and it was addressed to not their general manager or to whom it may concern, but to the most incompetent company in the world. And we said, we're going to change that around. And we went from almost dead last out of 13 cable systems. We were number 11 to number 2 in a year and a half. And it was absolutely amazing. So through those experiences, I learned that, yes, people can move from this helplessness and powerlessness to being more optimistic and to being resilient. So that group came up with, after decades of research, 7 strengths that resilient people have, and 7 skills that if they practice them, they can build those strengths and bounce back faster from any of life's adversities. And I had the good fortune to be able to acquire the assets of that company and their online courses, 6-hour online course for adults and one for young people. And through a lot of iterations over the years and pivoting, because that's what we do. It's not about, oh, this person's always successful. I never talked about my crushing setbacks, and there have been many. But what I have learned is that there is this thing called resilience, and we can bounce back from those down points and keep moving forward. And so the ultimate was, scrapping these 6-hour online courses and doing something every week to reinforce these strengths and skills to now a mobile app where we can, through push notifications throughout the course of the day, plant these positive seeds to disrupt the negative thoughts. Of our 50,000 thoughts that our brains are processing, 70 to 80% are negative. And so with the Power Thinking app, we're giving you the power through these push notifications in the morning, a positive quote, that will kind of disrupt all the negative stuff. In the afternoon, a Power Thinking affirmation, and then a skill builder, where today, for example, we sent out something about understanding the difference between self-efficacy, the belief that you have control over your ability to succeed, self-confidence, and the self-esteem. And we'll have something else where we'll focus on thinking traps and helping people understand what is mind reading, or what is minimizing and magnifying, minimizing the positive stuff that happens during the course of the day and magnifying the negative. And all of this to help us to manage those downs. Jackie, we've had, as a wrap up here, 2 unbelievably bad events and that we heard about over the news, where former lieutenant governor of the state of Virginia somehow was triggered by, papers being served because he and his wife were separated. They were getting a divorce, but they were living in the same home. And once he received those papers, you had this increased, significant negative emotional response. And his impulse was to grab a gun and kill his wife and then kill himself. And there's 2 teenagers in the house. Another was just within the past couple of days in Louisiana, where, a person, domestic dispute, his anger, his lack of impulse control killed 7 children and severely hurt his wife. These kinds of things, maybe not as severe, but these problems and disputes are going on every day. But with our app, our goal is to help people to minimize, these negative emotions and these negative impulses, so that they can bounce back from those adversities and keep moving forward. And I'll say this lastly, we just announced that we have a partnership with the Association of Black Psychologists, and they're going to be promoting the app, particularly in May, for Mental Health Month. So we're really excited about that. We're getting the word out, all over the place. I'll email you that app. So get that Power Thinking app and get Jackie's link or anyone else's link, because what happens is if you get the $60 annual membership, then you have a whole year to make $80 or $8,000 or $8 million, because you can refer that link, using the social media platforms to hundreds of people. So Jackie, thank you so much for this opportunity. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much. And I love the fact that $60 for 12 months, guys, that's fine. I'm not mathy, Stanley, but $5 a month, basically. $5 a month. Most people spend more than that on fancy coffees these days, on your McDonald's drive-through, on, gosh, I can't even think of how many other things are cheaper than $5 these days, because so much is more expensive. 30 days for $5. I mean, think about that. And I can only imagine, with this being brand new, that it's only going to grow and evolve and have more and more stuff as it goes. And so right now I saw there's a 2-week trial on the year version and a 1-week trial on the monthly. So if you're not able to commit that full 60, but you want to try it out for a week, try it out for a week and then pay monthly if you need to. If you are working a side business, if you work for an agency, this could be a tax write-off. Talk to your manager if you feel you need additional support and they don't offer some kind of counseling or mental health, or maybe you've tried that and you just need something extra, or maybe you're not ready for that. Talk to your manager or HR department if you feel comfortable, and maybe that could be a benefit they could offer, at least on a trial run, and maybe your success with it could maybe make it for other people. So make sure you guys are marketing to HR departments, Dan, because they need to hear this. Thank you for sharing your time with us. You are such a powerful voice on not just LinkedIn, but in the world. I mean, in the business community, in the families, in all the things you do, and now being right at a touch of a finger in the app. Make sure you guys are connecting with him. Follow the information. Power Thinking Corp. Have a great rest of your night and keep doing the amazing things you do, Stanley. And I can't wait to see those pictures of you in Africa someday. You take care, okay?
Thank you, Jackie, and kudos to you and for all that you do for humanity. And it was an honor to be part of your program and what you are all about. So thank you, and keep up the great work.
Thank you. People are amazing, aren't they? You know, when we think about it, there's so much evil in this world. We started off with that disclaimer. If you are struggling, call your local domestic violence shelter. If you are struggling with mental health or suicidal thoughts, 988 anywhere in Canada or the United States. I was going to say Michigan, but United States. There are people committed to helping you realize that you deserve better. You deserve safety. You deserve mental wellness, all the things. And it's sometimes a deep, dark place that we don't even know how to get out of until we're connected with somebody else that either recognizes it, they're there to support us, or you're connecting with people on social media that you have never met before, and they don't judge you, or they support you, or they learn from you. Guys, we are better together. And that's the whole reason I do this show, is because bringing people together around the globe, people that might not look like you, they might not have the same kind of jobs, or they might not worship like you do, or they might not be the same age. All the things could be so different. But yet when you hear them just a couple of minutes on here, you realize how much more similar we are than we are different. If you don't have time to actually, these guys got to get on my show one of these days. I got to tell you, these are personal friends. They are amazing in my community. We need them on the show one of these days. So bad. You guys are all going to love them. We need to remember that this world is better when we work together, when we are reminded that other humans are there for us, and we're not just trying to get money from them. We're not just trying to act cooler or tougher than they are. Oh my gosh, the world is so much better. And one of the ways we do that is coming to live shows, connecting with people, and not just sending a DM that just says, buy my product. I can fix your website, you're this. No, get to know humans, You're missing out when you don't. And you'll get snarky responses from me that says, why would I give my money to you? I've never met you. All those kind of things. Get to know people, show up in these comments, show up as a guest. If you do a show, invite people that aren't your normal people that are usually on your show. Get out of the I just have to talk to people in my lane. Because maybe people that you didn't realize weren't in your lane are even more in your lane than the people that have the same kind of background or something. And I can't even preface enough how much working with people that are, I will not use the word expert, so I am sorry if I offend anybody, but are very talented in certain fields, that have the experience, okay? The reason I don't use the word expert is because every second of the day we're learning and we're growing, and what we thought we knew perfectly could totally change in a blink of an eye. So those that are experienced, those that have the knowledge, those that are rock stars, those that you have watched and you want to implement what they're doing, you want to kind of vibe like their vibe, that's who you want to connect with and realize the world is a better place. And then you want to learn from them. And you can learn from some of these people for free. My next guest, and I did see that Coach Carey did say that Americo was probably going last. And a couple of people voted for Stanley first. So I guess that's the same thing. But we're going to bring Americo to stage, and he can elevate so much that you want to do social media wise, event wise, tech wise. Let's bring him up and you can see just how amazing he is. Ready?
Ta-da!
Hello.
Hello, how are you?
I am great, Americo. I tell you, every single week, I always say, I probably know these guys enough, or what if I don't learn anything from them? And every single night, I learn stuff from people. And it's like when you host an event, sometimes you're so busy with the production and this that you forget to just take time to do what I keep telling people is get to know people more. And so I wish I had a production crew that could check the comments and could like everything while I listen to you guys, but I'm lucky that my brain multitasks. And so when I listen to you, I may not be looking straight at you. I might be typing, but man, do I hear stuff. And I love that. And I love what you can bring to everybody. So I can't wait for you to highlight that. But do you mind if I ask you my 3 questions right away?
Before you ask the 3 questions,
Let's hear.
I want to address your graphic, your artwork.
Okay.
That no one reminded you needed correction. Just change the thumbnail on YouTube and have the thumbnail corrected so that people who are scrolling will see our names, but when they hit play, they might not even notice that it says.
Just like nobody shouted it out to me when I posted this a couple days ago. Because this is not Jane and Fawn, y'all. Not Jane and Fawn. It is the amazing
I've been called worse things, so I didn't really want to say anything.
You always have permission to show me what kind of things I flub up. I mean, I would love to learn from anybody, but you know what you're doing. Do you mind if I have a question on the YouTube thumbnail that I can reach out to you?
You can reach out, absolutely. And I just want to also make a correction. Yeah, I'm humbled with your comments, but I'm not in any position, nor do I want to be in a position to have people think that we're going to create perfect events. This isn't about perfection. It's about presence and helping people build the confidence to show up. Today, I was riddled with tech issues. I'm still dealing with a few tech gremlins. I got new tech on the way, the camera I just invested in. We're going to upgrade our camera. So we're always tweaking things. So it's not about perfection. It's about progression and celebrating those milestones, because there's no better way to celebrate than to give yourself that pat on the back. You got to be proud of the progress you're making, and don't get in your head and think that it's got to be perfect in order for it to move forward.
I love that so much. However, now I'm going to challenge you, because if you feel that presence, that's pretty much perfection in my view. It doesn't have to look a certain way that you wanted it to, or it doesn't have to be what other people want it to be. But if you feel in tune with something, oh, what a great world it is, right?
Absolutely.
I love that you called that out, and I appreciate your presence too, because that's one thing about you, Americo, is that you said, tech issues all day long, but yet you just vibe so calm and just so, we're going to get through this. And that's what I think a lot of people that are used to that hustle culture and that I got to be perfect, even if it doesn't feel right, don't always believe in, or they don't understand is a good thing. And just hearing your voice just instantly just kind of like, I can realign, we can fix this. This is okay. So thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
I'm so glad you're here. Okay, your first question, 2 things that you are proud of that you have accomplished, Americo.
All right, 2 things that I am most proud of. I'd have to say being a single dad. And not because I was forced into it, not because my circumstances are probably shared by many others, but you talked earlier in the show in terms of domestic violence. I would say the next thing worse to domestic violence is being portrayed as a domestic violent person who brings on violence to others. I was portrayed as someone who was beating my spouse, and there's no worse feeling trying to plead your innocence and fight for your innocence. And I tell you, I fought tooth and nail through the court system, and we know how the courts respond to fathers. I'm not here to make it political or judgmental, but it was an uphill battle. But knowing that I had to take my daughter away from the lifestyle that her mother was living, or made the choice to live, substance abuse cost me my family, and I fought tooth and nail to take my daughter out of that. And I raised my daughter, and to this day, I'm so proud that she is an adult,
Mm.
and she's making sound decisions, and she's learning from what she has seen and what she's been exposed to. And she promises herself and she promises to me that when she's ready to bear children and have a family of her own, that it will not be anything close to what she was brought up and raised around. Second, and it kind of goes hand in hand, proud of embracing the art of resilience,
Mm.
right? Because there is nothing more that life has taught me, that there are going to be ups and downs. There's no doubt, but I handle my fair share. And it's funny, you mentioned how people separate themselves or can't separate themselves. I tried my hardest to keep myself checked at the door when I went into the office and when I was in the boardroom, and try to keep both entities separate. And it's hard. It's not easy. And those who can see right through you, you think you're doing a fantastic job. Uh, they want to reach out, but so many people say it's not my place to say anything. And when someone does, listen to them, accept their help.
Mm.
But I would say being resilient, and being that single father when I needed to be.
Oh, those are both so powerful. I do want to acknowledge I am seeing a little bit of weird.
That's
Okay.
part of the gremlins all day.
Yep. So I am just going to let everybody know if for some reason Americo disappears, I'm just going to yap for a minute and he's going to jump right back in if he needs to. But it's almost kind of like we got a strobe light thing going on.
Yeah,
I'm
hold
actually
on.
kind of digging it.
Let's change the camera here.
Okay. I was actually checking. I'm like, I'm wired in. There's no way it's my Wi-Fi right now.
No, it's not. It's not you. It's been me all day.
I love how you picked resilience. And that's what Stanley was talking about too. Guys, I said this, I think last week, maybe it was my 1 year anniversary, but it was for sure last week. I never tell the guest who the other guest is. They never say, oh, I got to be on with this person. I mean, unless I've done a couple of husband and wife situations, or I've done co-authors or business owners together. That's a different story. But other than that, we look at the schedule that works for you, works for me, and boom, you're locked in. And nobody has once asked me who is the other speaker for that night. And I think that's amazing. I think it's awesome, actually. But how cool was it that you both picked resilience? I love that. And then I also want to acknowledge the pain you must have went through, and your daughter as well, through those difficult times in so many different ways. I work very closely with friend of the court, and I do divorce mediations and work with parent and children issues for helping restructure and learn how to recommunicate when there was a lot of miscommunication, or there was a lot of anger or frustration. And it's not easy. And it's certainly not easy to raise a child alone, knowing that there was some of that stuff going on, but then also the changes in the relationship dynamic on top of that. So thank you for sharing that tonight. You did not need to share that, and you did. And I am certain that it helped some people hear that maybe have felt forced in a certain situation, no matter what the situation was, that they had to fight to prove who they were or who they were not. And that's difficult and scary for anyone. I don't care your degree. I don't care how wonderful people think about you. And it all comes back down to, we need more people to understand that caring adults don't hurt each other. They don't harass. They don't abuse. They don't lie. And they don't have to self-medicate or hurt themselves or other people to get their points across, or to focus on all that ick. And so please, again, reach out to somebody. 988, reach out to a domestic violence center. There are people that help men as well, because that is a real thing out there. Reach out to your doctor, reach out to a counselor, reach out to somebody that can be a support if you don't know who to turn to. So thank you for sharing that. And I just didn't want to gloss over that, because that was really powerful that you shared, and I appreciate you sharing that. But now, what area are you growing in, Mr. Americo?
All right. What area am I growing in? I thought you said it was going to be the same three questions.
I love that. You were the first person that ever pulled that on me.
So, what am I growing on? Well, I'm going to take the answer to the second question because I can make it work. I am growing and helping others grow and visualize and realize that scarcity and abundance can coexist. Right? I look at myself and my journey, and you take the personal side, the personal journey that I have undergone, and you bring in my professional journey. Listen, I was laid off 3 times post pandemic. So you get up and you get, knocked at the knees and you're down again. And you got to come up with money for attorneys, and you got to come up and you find yourself, there's nothing left. Like I feel like I'm losing everything. But at the same time, while scarcity becomes, visible, you look at what you have and you become so appreciative, and that there's abundance in other areas. Yes, had a great corporate job and I kept losing it, and it wasn't me. It's the dynamics and the culture and the ecosystem, the landscape that we find ourselves in. And I keep reinventing myself, and now it's an opportunity for me to take that experience equity from my life's journey to help others at the grassroots, because they may not have encountered, they may never encounter, but I'm there to help them lead, support, and develop them along the way.
I love that.
Someone's going to pivot at some point, and I want to be able to be there. And you see what I'm doing today with live events, virtual events. This happened by accident. This was me trying to reinvent myself and differentiate myself from others as a job seeker in that job seeker persona. And the more I did it, people started reaching out, hey, can you help me do something similar? Can you? And before I knew it, it's like, all right, this is my calling. I may not be any good at it, but I'm passionate about it. And I want people to know that I'm going to build this brand in public. It's going to be clunky. We're going to start where we are. We're going to start with what we have. And as we progress, we'll improve the tech. And yeah, my tech today, I thought I was going to have it all figured out. I have a new computer, have new tech that was everything's kind of been failing. But once again, you pointed out, just accept the cards that you've been dealt. Don't get overwhelmed. There's always, the sun will come up tomorrow and you get to do this all over again.
I love that. Oh. Americo, I'm going to digress for just a second, because you can be in abundance and scarcity at the same time. And a few weeks ago, we had Josette on my show, and she's been kind of all around as a guest recently. She has a PhD, and she is currently unhoused. And when you talk to her, she doesn't talk doom and gloom. She doesn't always know where her next roof is going to be or where her next payment for her cell phone is coming. Yet she talks about how privileged she is. Mm-hmm. And the joy just ripples off her, just like I could feel that joy rippling off you. And, when people talk, it just connects me to other people or other words that I've heard. And it resonates. And if it can remind you that your struggles are real, every one of us have struggles. And it's not about comparing who had it worse or who has it better. It's about how you accept the lesson that you're going through and how you can hope for the very best for yourself or your family or your business. And I love how you pivoted. Now, for some people, they think that the pandemic was a gazillion years ago. In reality, it was just a blink of an eye. Mm-hmm. And 3 layoffs, Americo, that up and down roller coaster you were talking about, holy smokes. And you're learning it, you're growing in it, and you are thriving in it. So I'm so thankful that you shared that. I appreciate that so much. So I love on your background next to your amazing podcast logo, you got the whole world. So Absolutely. Pick someplace in that whole big, wonderful world. Where would you go right now if you could travel anywhere?
If I could travel anywhere, I'm going to be honest with you. The hardest thing, and most Canadians will tell you, the hardest thing is to be a tourist in your own country. It'll cost me less to plan a trip, get on a plane, and go anywhere than to fly across the country and go skiing out in the West Coast or go. I would love, and of course, it's not going to happen. Not because I don't want to, but I can't convince my other half to do a road trip. I want to do a road trip, and I've talked about road trips numerous times. And bring my mic and bring my audio gear, and just sit down with local business owners in local communities and just get to know people and what makes them who they are, and interview them. And this was this passion project that I had. Um, Wanted to do it across country. I wanted to do it, south of the border. I was going to do it, had it all planned out last September, and got denied entry for geopolitical reasons. My passport suggested that I have visited countries that
We're on
Homeland Security did not really appreciate I having spent time in those countries. So they decided to deny my entry. So for the time being, I'm going to have to pause my U.S. Road trip. But I'm trying to convince, at least let's do an East Coast. Let's do a maritime trip, because our country is so beautiful. There's so much to see. And, we're so quick to give our tourist dollars outside of our geography. But there's so much that I'd love to see here in Canada.
Okay, Gregory Liverpool, he's a Canadian. He didn't realize you were Canadian. Where are you from?
So I'm in Ontario. I'm just
Here.
north of Toronto.
Okay, that's amazing. So, a couple things. First of all, I had a little bit of a side business that I'm still kind of doing under my Just Jack's advising, but not as much because of all the political issues, where I help people learn how to travel frugally and by themselves if they want to, and especially helping women feel comfortable traveling out and about. Through that, I started helping people learn how to travel in their own city, not just their own country or state or province, because how many times are we driving to the grocery store, those of us that go to an office, those of us that go visit our grandma, and we drive the same roads and we didn't even notice there was a park there. We didn't even notice about the new museum that was built. We don't even notice those houses that were there, or that running track, or the this or that, and all the free stuff that is there. And when you can say, if you can't say, I don't have the money, my partner won't travel, whatever, you're limiting yourself. And so I tried to really challenge people for that. And people would send me the coolest things. Oh my gosh, I didn't even know this bakery was right around the corner from my house and it's been here for 7 years, or different things like that. I didn't even have to spend a dime. I just got out of my apartment. I started walking and I saw 3 different things I've never even enjoyed before. And I love that. So if your partner has any worries or anything I could assist with, I am offering a free consultation if they want to talk about why road trips are amazing. I drove, so I live here in Michigan, and I did drive to Toronto by myself last summer, by the way. That was interesting. But I drove from here all the way up across the UP through Sault Ste. Marie, across the northern part of Lake Superior in Canada, and back down around Minnesota, Wisconsin, the UP, and back home, all by myself in 6 days road trip. I had no idea until I made it all the way over to Thunder Bay on the other side of Lake Superior that what happens if there's a car accident on the northern part of Lake Superior, because there's only 2 lanes of traffic. And you got water on one side and water on another. You could be stuck on that highway for 12 hours before you get out. I never even thought about that. So every time I think about road tripping in Canada, I'm like, maybe I should take the train next time. But I hope you get to explore that. I hope you get to go all the cool places. And when the border issues settle down, please come. And if you come to Michigan, let me show you around. I would love to do that and meet you in person. But now I want to turn it over. We have talked a little bit too much. I'm sorry I took a little bit too much time. But you've got about 4 minutes. If you want to highlight all the cool things you do, I would love you to share that, okay?
Fantastic. So I brought to fruition one of my passion projects that I used to talk about a lot. I started a community over on school. It's called Your Stage Community. And in essence, it brings people who are overwhelmed with live content. And whether it's not knowing where to start, whether it's just overcoming those tech gremlins, the fear of being on camera, the fear of not knowing what to say, planning an event, getting people engaged while they're at the event, and many members who come in when they answer the onboarding questions. There's a lot of uh, community membership who want to monetize these conversations. Now, there's a process and there's a framework that I I coach and I develop that helps people kind of move along the live content journey, and then helping those people build and formulate a strategy that keeps those live messages working well beyond the live event. The content is evergreen after you go live. You can repurpose it and redistribute it. And just because you went live doesn't mean that there aren't other people who find value in what you had to say and what you had to share with a guest. Simply meeting them where they prefer to consume their content. So I'm over on Substack, I'm over on YouTube, and if you like that short and snappy, you're going to get those short clips. And if you like the long form content that summarizes the conversations, I got that as well for you. And it's about helping people build that a strategy, a repeatable strategy for themselves, and helping them get outside of their own heads, because once you try it and you realize it's not as hard, and when you realize that you were your only obstacle, because people will listen. Hey, we can't be all things to all people. We know that. But for those who we can be something for, we're doing ourselves a disservice and doing them a disservice by putting off going live and putting off our message and our value by waiting for things to be perfect. So come as you are, where you are, and we'll help you be the best version of yourself with whatever you have.
I love that so much. And each of us should have our own style. Each of us should have our own learning experience. You know how you talked about thumbnail? I went, I believe, 3 months doing live events every single Monday without knowing you could even put a thumbnail on any of the pictures on YouTube. So almost everyone has my face like this. It's horrible what it froze on. And I never thought about going and editing it or anything like that. The amount of time you could save yourself by investing in working with somebody like Americo, if this is something that you're passionate about, believe me, I learn every time I turn StreamYard on. Sometimes every time I log into LinkedIn, I'm learning something new from one of the amazing people out there, or because I finally took a minute to read something. I think of the hours that I probably wasted trying to figure out myself that you probably could have taught me in about an hour and a half. And I'd be like, oh my gosh, this was so worth the investment. So I love that. Make sure you go back and you check out some of the comments, because everybody just loved you and Stanley, of course. But put some of your links in there so they can know when your upcoming shows are, how they could work with you. Americo, you are amazing. Thank you for all you bring to us and for reminding us that we do deserve to deal with the tech issues and doing it our way and showing up the way our guests want to and showing up the way that we need to that day as well. And I appreciate you so much.
Thank you. It was a pleasure being here and a pleasure sharing the stage with yourself and Stanley. Thank you so much.
I appreciate that. And you and Jay share the stage most Thursdays, and he was here last week. And I'm glad you guys weren't on the same night, because so many people do see you guys together. It's good to see you with other people, but I got to learn more about him last week, and now I got to learn more about you this week. And I can't thank you guys enough for all the great information you guys bring and the guests you guys have on as well. So thank you for doing all you do. It was such a pleasure having you here. Thank you, Americo.
Thank you.
How does the hour go by so fast? Thank you guys for being here. I know some of you are just tuning in. Some of you are going to catch the replay. We talked about some tough stuff a couple different times. I really don't do trigger warnings so much on this show, because pretty much expect every show there's a chance. I do put on there that we talk about tough topics. If anything didn't sit well with you guys that we talked about tonight, please reach out to a support network, whether it's your local DV center, whether it's the national hotline, whether it is 988 if you're having any kind of thoughts of self-harm or overwhelming depression and you're not able to get into a local provider right away. Reach out to your doctor or your medical health team or your holistic health team or your therapist, or talk to a coach, whatever works for you to help you align, because you are an amazing human. You deserve to be amazing, and you deserve to learn and grow. Just like Americo and Stanley shared, we're growing and learning every day. And if we weren't, our brain starts turning to mush. Okay. Please, if we haven't connected yet, please connect with me. I love meeting new people, and I love when they actually, connect in my comments, or I get to see their comments and actually get to see that they're real humans. I am taking new guests into June and July right now. So if you align with the show, if you feel like you have something you want to share and be highlighted on, the only requirement I have is that you don't disrespect anybody. Okay. You don't have to have a business. You don't have to do a live show. You don't have to be an author, but you can be, or you can be somebody looking for a job. You can be somebody that wants to be able to reach other people, and you don't have money for marketing, or you don't have the insight that you wish you would, but you want people to get to know you anyway. So feel free to reach out. It books up quickly. There are so many great hosts and different shows that feel what aligns with you and see what message you want. But I do appreciate you all so much. When you tune into Just Jackson Guests every single Monday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard, you are learning from at least one, but generally 2 or more guests every single night that you may not even knew that you needed to learn from. You may have heard a word that maybe resonates with somebody that you could share that information with. And that's why we do this. And I thank you so much for all being here. I'm going to roll the outro that the amazing William Rochelle did. He started his 10 o'clock show probably 3 minutes ago because I'm running a little late. But I'm going to play the outro, and I am going to wish you the best. And if the world is super heavy for you right now, please know you're not alone, and do what you need to do to take care of yourself, and know that we care about you and we appreciate you so much for being here. Thank you so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us today. You could have been anywhere else, but you chose Just Jacks and Guests. Jackie Hallberg has left the building. The category is prison reform. Prison reform. The category is diversity. The category is women's rights. Thank you for joining. We appreciate your company. Thank you for coming through. Just Jacks and Guests. The category is equal rights. The category is inclusivity. The category is second chances. Thank you for coming through. We appreciate your company.